Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, our praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rokah Kodash, Brakathum. Double honor shall go to apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone who continue to teach and to rule well. Shalom to the Akims, a great millstone in like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. Shalom to the sincere Aquats who continuously learning in silence, as the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. And also shalom to the true believers and subscribers of this true gospel, for this should be considered a true blessing from the higher power. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. Slakia. So today's lesson is going to be a fallback lesson from yesterday's lesson, which was titled The Dragon Juice. All right. So this is a very quick video here that you see on the screen. This is from CNN. So as you see on the title, it says just in, World Health Organization, 15 million have died worldwide from COVID. Then the subtitle is WHO, WHO, World Health Organization, COVID death toll nearly 3 times higher than officially reported. All right? It's all starting to come out now, 6 years later, after that C-19 event. The truth is starting to come out, like it was mentioned in yesterday's video. So the title for my lesson, Abaratazat, will be C-19 deaths 3 times more. Pretty much the same headline from this video. All right, so of course I'll play the video in its entirety. Abaratazah, Lord willing, and go to the precepts. But before I do so, fair use of the 1976 Copyright Act. For this video, strictly for education and edification purposes only. I'm not making a dime off this video, all right? So like I said, this is like over 6-minute video, not too long at all. And you're going to hear about yet another one of Esau's wiles or trickery, all right, to suppress the true amount of these deletions from that C-19, all right? So let's go.
Just in, the World Health Organization is releasing new numbers on just how many people have died globally because of the COVID-19 pandemic. CNN's Jacqueline Howard is live with the breakdown. What have they found here, Jacqueline?
Brianna, what they found, these numbers tell us that about 14.9 million more people died than the World Health Organization would typically expect over the course of 2 years during the pandemic. Now, these deaths include both people who died directly due to COVID-19 and deaths that were indirectly tied to the pandemic. So these are deaths due to health conditions that people may have had trouble getting treatment for because of our overburdened health systems. And this number, Brianna, represents 3 times higher than the death toll that has been previously reported. Now, here's a breakdown of the numbers. We know that most of the excess deaths, 84%, were concentrated in Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Americas. The death toll was higher among men. We see there 57% were male, 43% were female. The death toll was also higher among older adults. And then here are the countries that had the highest numbers of excess deaths. We have Brazil, Indonesia, India, the US, Russia, Peru, Turkey, Egypt, South Africa. So there's a list there, Brianna. But some people might wonder, we know that many people sadly lost their lives during the pandemic. So what can we really learn from these numbers? Well, here's how one World Health Organization scientist put this in context. Have a listen.
So why do these numbers actually matter? I mean, these are not numbers for the sake of numbers, but as we have just said, that there are two components to this, right? So one is the directly attributable deaths to COVID, but in addition to that, the excess deaths also estimate the collateral damage that has happened because of COVID, because of disruptions in health services.
So we heard there, Brianna, he said these numbers represent the collateral damage of a health crisis of this scale and how this crisis can have this collateral damage on the world. Brianna?
Yeah, it revealed so many problems. It revealed the underlying conditions across the world. Jacqueline, thank you for that.
The new Omicron subvariant is spreading rapidly in the U.S. In New York, COVID hospitalizations have more than doubled in the last month amid a surge in cases. The troubling increase is leading New York City to raise its COVID risk level this week. Joining me now is New York City Health Commissioner, Dr. Ashwin Vasan. Good to have you with us, Dr. Vasan. So when we look at where we're at now, in addition to raising the alert level here in the city, I know you're also recommending that people start masking indoors again. Do you envision bringing back an indoor mask mandate in New York City?
Right now is the time, as we've moved into medium risk, where we're really encouraging New Yorkers to take more additional steps and use the myriad tools that we have to manage their own risk and also to manage the risk of those around them, because the choices we make, as ever with this pandemic, the choices we make are not just about us. They're about protecting others you may not even know and those who are in the same spaces with you. That includes vaccines and boosters, frequent testing. We're here today because we got rapid testing just before the show. Treatment, which is widely accessible at a scale that we haven't seen in prior waves. And of course, masks. And so we're always looking at our policies and seeing when we may want to bring back citywide policies, but now's not that time.
So you don't, so just to nail you down on that one, you don't see a mask mandate coming back?
I think
But
at this moment,
at this moment, wouldn't.
At this moment, we're not considering that. But if the data moves in directions that are not encouraging, then all of those options are on the table.
You stress vaccines, boosters, right? If you're eligible still for either, you recommend going to get those. Do you think New York City got rid of its vaccine requirement too soon?
I think this has always been a balancing act. And as Dr. Fauci said, we're in this transitional phase between epidemic, pandemic, emergency response, and endemicity, or living with this virus in a seasonal or other pattern. And in that transition phase, it's crucial for us to get back to our lives, for us to reopen our economy and really resurge our economy. And as someone who also cares a lot about mental health, social connection and reconnecting with our loved ones is so critical. And so, I think those are hard decisions to make. And to the extent that those decisions helped us open up the economy faster, I think they were good decisions. I think if data shows us that things are moving in a different direction, we'll reconsider those decisions.
How hard do you think it would be to go back?
I think this whole 2 years has been hard, right? I mean, there's a lot of Groundhog Day for all of us, myself included. And I think, as the mayor says, this virus is a formidable opponent and constantly throws us curveballs. And so we have to, as a policy position, be ready to pivot and shift.
You mentioned the importance of testing. And New York City has said testing will remain free, vaccines will remain free, but without that money coming from the federal government, how do you do that? Where does that money come from?
Yeah, we are blessed that we have been able to mount one of the strongest testing and vaccination campaigns and now treatment programs in the country. And it's truly a testament to a collective effort led by public health, our public health care system, and all of the different health actors in the city. But the federal government has been such an essential partner in that to date. And, we are concerned. We're definitely concerned about, particularly as I talked about, what this virus might throw at us in the future. If we are saying that we are no longer going to pay for this out of Washington and that Congress is questioning whether they should be supporting municipalities, we are at risk of putting our COVID response and sort of hindering our COVID response, but also baking in some of those inequities that we've seen throughout the pandemic.
So then is the reality that given the funding issue, New York City may not be able to continue to guarantee free testing and free vaccinations?
I think at this point, we're not saying that. I think that at this point, we're in a good shape with our public healthcare system. We have a robust safety net healthcare system for underinsured or uninsured people. And we've got, a great public health agency and assets. But again, if we don't know what this virus is going to throw at us, and we have been really thankful and reliant on those federal assets, and we'd like to see them continue.
Interstate moves are complicated.
All right, so that was the end of that video, but you hear what they're talking about? All right, that this C-19 is making a comeback, and that if the data numbers go in the wrong direction, they're going to bring back that mask mandate and all those other mandates from back then. All right, so from since back then, us Akims have been broadcasting about this C-19 pandemic, and especially that dragon juice, like I mentioned in the video yesterday. So, again, you Jakes better understand that what once was shall be again. There's nothing new under the sun, like biblical prophecy says. All right, so this is going to be a very quick video, but I've already made my point. A couple of precepts. And again, this devil Esau Edom is a damn liar. John 8:44. And I've read this precept several times, but I got to continue to read it again because this is what it is. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. Esau is always a liar. All right, point blank, because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay? Boom. I could just end the lesson here. All right. But I got one more precept, and this is becoming more and more familiar to us Akims, the brothers that's preaching and teaching. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right, boom. All right. So you Jakes out there, Bolo, be on the lookout. I always say this, be circumspect. All right. And continue to prepare for Yahweh Shai's return, triumphant return, which is also ever coming closer and closer. Believe me. All right. So like I said, this was a quick lesson, but I definitely proved my point. So with that being said, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakak Kodash, Brakatam, Kwam, Yasharal, Rise Israel. And as always, Abaratazah, Lord willing, on to the next video. Shalom.